In this video, you will learn about flow, the most powerful mental state you can be in for the highest performance and well-being. You will learn about the 4 phases of flow and how to enter this precious mental state the fastest way. Let's get started. In the late 20th century, psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi wondered what made certain people consistently happy and fulfilled. They seemed to be real superheroes at work, being incredible top performers by having a childlike sense of curiosity and smile. After years of groundbreaking research and testing, Csikszentmihalyi eventually found out what they all had in common. It was a particular mental state, an optimum state of consciousness, which he called flow. The selected participants regularly attended to this state when they did their work, whether they were aware of it or probably mostly not. So what is flow then? As Csikszentmihalyi himself puts it, quote, "Flow is what people feel when they enjoy what they're doing, when they don't want to be doing anything else. What makes flow so intrinsically motivating? The evidence suggests a simple answer. In flow, the human organism is functioning at its fullest capacity. When this happens, the experience is its own reward." Think of the last time you were completely absorbed in what you did. Maybe it was at work when everything started to go smoothly, when you're just blasting off ideas and all pieces fell into place. Maybe you were playing sports, video games, or other forms of play. In any of these cases, the time either slowed down or sped up really fast, and you were completely one with what you did, all in a state of bliss, high and wonder. That is what you experience when you're in the flow state. You experience the 6 characteristics of flow, which are complete concentration, a merger of action awareness, the vanishing of self, an altered sense of time, paradox of control, and ultimately an autotelic experience. Just being in that mental state is rewarding enough. And the last point is what makes flow so particularly beautiful. You do not need any external reward because you're already fulfilled. This is especially important if you're at the beginning of a career path, a creative path, or a sports ladder, when you're working so hard but not receive any fame, money, or respect. With flow, you can enjoy the daily experience before the delayed recognition and rewards. You do not need any motivation because the flow is motivating enough. You become effortlessly consistent and will break through the better you become. And by the way, this is how I keep myself going so far after 8 months of doing this. Moreover, according to several scientific studies, being in the flow state increases productivity, learning and creativity by 500, 200 and 430% respectively. Yes, that's huge. And according to the online course Zero to Dangerous, led by Steven Kotler and Ryan Doris, they even proclaim that you can perform the same activities in the same kind of results that the average knowledge workers do in 1 month in just 1 day. Yes, 1 day. Because it's so powerful. So if you can consistently tap into the flow state every single day, you have unlocked the secret to sustaining happy and fulfilled and pretty awesome life, to be honest. Everything you ever wanted is within you, as long as you unlock this flow. But flow is only one of the 4 stages in the flow cycle. When you sit down to work, you go through these 4 phases. 1. Struggle. No matter how efficient and motivated you are, it will always feel slow and unpleasant in the beginning. Think of a car starting uphill and the energy you must spend to get going. You have to remain non-distracted during the struggle phase. Otherwise, you have to start over again. And the sooner you accept the feeling of quicksand, the faster this phase will get. Then we have stage number 2, which is release. At some point you're struggling, you will feel a sense of relief. Imagine the feeling we just run up a large hill and can ultimately relax a little bit. Taking micro breaks, such as visiting the toilet, without a phone of course, has been a great release activity in my experience. And you can do it quite fast when you're working. And then we get stage 3, which is flow. After the initial work, you will finally enter the magic flow state. Time will either slow down or fly by. You'll be completely one with your work in an effortless manner. Stage 4, last but not least, is recovery. You have to relax and take care of your body the rest of the day. You want to be an athlete, not a non-stop machine. I cannot stress this one enough. Because you will now blast through your piercing light speed, you have now the responsibility to relax regularly every day, as if your life depended on it. Because it is. In addition, the following triggers must be there to summon the flow state. Number 1, a clear intention of what you will work during this session and how long you will work. Without this clarity, it's much harder. 2, the right balance of how difficult your work is. Not too boring, but not too anxiety-provoking. Especially during your struggle phase, pay attention to how you feel. If you feel tired, go faster. If you feel overwhelmed, slow down and break the task down into micro steps. Number 3 is immediate feedback, because you want to get a sense of gratification that you're on the right way, or at least some markers that you need to change path in some kind of trial and error fashion. The 4th one is complete concentration, because as you will discover later, flow follows focus. So in other words, no distraction. And the last one is no cognitive load and self-talk. Your sense of self should be completely gone. In the Total Living Lifestyle, which you can find more in my blog at thetotalliving.com, I call this particular state total presence, when you unconditionally observe what is in your immediate vicinity, without any interpretation or thought from you. With that said, I have now practiced flow for a year now. The first 2 months by my own experience, and the rest with the online course, which I previously mentioned earlier, Zero to Dangerous, which I highly recommend. To enter the flow state, I go through the following checklist. Number 1, plan the session in your calendar in advance. Define the start and end time and what you will do during the particular session. Step 2, turn off all distractions and do not visit non-essential sites. If you struggle with distractions like social media, videos, or other people, I recommend you decide in advance when you indulge them every day and limit yourself outside of them. Step 3, have a blank page where you can write down your self-talk. Normally I have so much flying around in your head with commitments and worries, but as I outline in my book, The Barbell System, you can get rid of them and become present by simply writing them down there when they pop up. When everything is quiet inside, you will achieve flow much faster. Step 4, turn on enjoyable instrumental music. Although this one is more optional, it's a great aid in entering your own world. I recommend this playlist, Binaural Beats for Focus, a lot. Step 5, activate the timer so you can forget time. This way you can allow yourself to be completely absorbed without the guilt of not being responsible. Step 6, always have water beside you. You need to stay hydrated all the time, and we often forget to drink. Yet it's the best way to remain at the perfect energy without being drowsy. Finally, step 7, stare at your screen for 1 minute. According to famous neuroscientist and podcaster Andy Huberman, mental focus is interlinked with visual focus, and flow is interlinked with mental focus, and then ultimately with visual focus. So if you become distracted, just stare again for 1 minute and do your work, and you'll be back. When you now have started to work, always keep these 3 in mind. Number 1, always write down your self-talk. Number 2, always be mindful of how you feel. And number 3, always know that the initial sluggishness is a part of the game. Enjoy it like the muscle burn, or at the beginning of a running trip. Feel it and know that you're doing absolutely right. Before you know it, you will get into the flow state. Enjoy the ride of maximum aliveness that you deserve. When time is up, write down everything that you did and you're done. But always remember, rest is crucial. Sleep well, do active recovery like baths, stretching, and alleviate the tensions in your body. You will have sustainable sessions of flow if you do it. So here you have it, the step-by-step guide or checklist to simply drop into flow the fastest way. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe for 1 video per week like this one. You can also subscribe to my newsletter to get a free ebook, The Ultimate Guide to the Total Living, 5 steps for being your best self and enjoying life every second. Until next time, have a very nice day.